Another nation is on its way to becoming a part of this emerging partnership that aims to challenge the West. And this country is no typical participant. It's none other than Nigeria, one of the most powerful countries in Africa. Why are African countries rejecting the West at precisely the same time? Another surprise shook Western nations as the French were dealing with their fury over being driven out of many African countries. Nigeria has now declared its intention to join BRICS. This suggests that Nigeria aspires to help BRICS create a new global order in which the West does not hold a monopoly, in addition to wanting to isolate itself from the West. But what circumstances led Nigeria to make these choices? The biggest economy in Africa has revealed its intentions to formally join the organization. Given the immense size and financial strength of the nation, this discovery is extremely significant. Whether in the form of cities, states, empires, or nations, human leaders have always placed a high priority on maintaining international peace and stability. Historically, states were safeguarded and preserved by the formation of alliances among nations. The League of Nations was established because it was believed that previous alliances were unsuccessful in the wake of the First World War. The Second World War began in 1939 and ended in 1945. At which point the United Nations organization was founded to prevent future international or national conflicts. In an effort to promote global peace, smaller continental organizations such as the OAS, OAU, and now the AU were founded. After communism and the USSR collapsed, the non-aligned movement vanished from the archives of history. Then, a very strong organization known as BRIC Brazil, Russia, India, and China came into reality. The origins of BRICS can be traced back to a September 2006 side meeting in New York with the foreign ministers of Brazil, Russia, India, and China. On September 16, 2009, a formal gathering was held in Yekaterinburg, Russia. With South Africa's 2010 membership, it took on the name BRICS. Jim O'Neill of Goldman Sachs came up with the moniker BRIC in 2001. It was BRIC before South Africa joined. With China and India as members, the BRICS group includes the two most populous nations on Earth. Its establishment of a payment system and the new development bank has made it an increasingly powerful economic entity. It generally meets once a year. The primary members of the BRICS groups are countries in Africa, Asia, and South America. 6 additional states including Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, Argentina, and the United Arab Emirates were accepted during its most recent meetings. The most important question is whether Nigeria intends to become a member of BRICS or not. Nigeria participated in the First and Second World Wars alongside British soldiers, fulfilling its duty as a colony under the UK. Nigeria has been involved in the UN, AU, and ECOWAS ever since its forces were stationed there to keep the peace in the Congo following its independence. With the biggest population in Africa, Nigeria is going to continue to be the continent's most powerful nation once it joins BRICS. Nigeria now holds a chair and is the most powerful nation in ECOWAS. As 2 of the major developed world powers and leading developing nations are members of BRICS, Nigeria may explore and benefit from this unbounded behemoth by joining it. BRICS is an expanding organization whose limits are the sky. Nigeria should quickly become a member of BRICS since time waits for no one. Nigeria's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Yusuf Tuga, announced to the media in February that his country planned to apply to join the elite club. More recently, he restated Nigeria's steadfast commitment to joining the BRICS within the next 2 years, a goal he has been promoting since 2023. Nigeria additionally seeks to enhance its relations with Russia. In an interview with Sputnik Africa, a Russian news site, Yusuf Tuga stated that Nigeria plans to apply to become a member of the BRICS alliance. "We intend to do it. Like I said before, Nigeria runs a deliberative democratic system. So there tends to be a lot of engagement with different interest groups, different internal bodies, before such an action is taken." According to Tuga, he emphasized the significance of the BRICS summit in South Africa in 2023, which Vice President Kashim Shettima attended. He also underlined that Western influence will not affect Nigeria's choice to seek BRICS membership. One thing you must realize is that Nigeria has never been the kind of nation that gives in to pressure. Since the beginning, they have had only one goal in mind: embracing the non-aligned movement as soon as we gained our independence in 1960. According to a report in the Guardian newspaper, Professor Williams Ijoma, president of the Global Migration Research Institute, GMRI, has stated that it is time for Nigeria to join the BRICS partnership in order to free the country from the grip of poverty and create possibilities for rapid development. As a member of the Global South, he insisted that Nigeria join BRICS because, according to purchasing power parity, the bloc has already surpassed the G7 bloc in terms of the bloc's share of the world's total gross domestic product, simply known as the GDP. BRICS is a very important organization that will enhance the economy of Nigeria because Nigeria has got all it takes to be a world power. We have the raw materials and we have the human resources, and I believe that joining BRICS will boost Nigeria's economy, he explained at the summit. The BRICS nations, according to Professor Williams Ijoma, provide a platform for businesses looking to expand internationally and offer substantial returns to institutional investors. The group also aims to strengthen economic cooperation among its members and set itself apart from the Western power structure. BRICS Partnership. Originally set up in Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, the BRICS group is currently actively advocating for changes to the global economic system. The group's main goal is to expand its economic power and take control of the world market. In order to do this, the club first united its founding members, who all have same economic philosophy. They recently made the decision to grow the group in order to bolster its cause and intensify its attempts to change the status quo. Fundamentally, BRICS is aimed at destroying the centuries-long powerful financial dominance of the West over the global economy. As we already know, it welcomes Saudi Arabia, Iran, Ethiopia, Egypt, Argentina, and the United Arab Emirates as new members soon after its yearly meeting in August. Nigeria is hoping to join this group in the future. Nigeria, a nation with an extensive past and a varied culture, has refused the Western temptation to join the BRICS alliance while retaining its sovereignty. Nigeria, a former British colony, has persevered in following its own objectives and grown to become one of Africa's major powers. The Nigerian administration is aware of the possible advantages of joining the BRICS partnership, including expanded trade prospects and easier access to a bigger market. Nigeria wants to change its geo-economic posture in the world, which is why it has stated that it intends to become a member of the BRICS group. Nigeria's Minister of Foreign Affairs is determined to attain BRICS membership in fiancé to outside factors, such as the impact of the West and political discussions within the nation. Nigeria's entry into the BRICS would be successful in the West's established supremacy in the world economy. This indicates an attempt on the part of Nigeria to broaden the scope of its alliances and support a paradigm-shifting power balance in the global economy. However, how did Nigeria come up with the concept of diversifying its collaborations? It all began with collaborations with many nations, especially Russia. Nigeria and Russia are progressively growing closer to them, especially in a number of areas. Many African countries are still drawn to developing closer relations with Russia in spite of the problematic steps the country has taken in Ukraine. Russia and Nigeria both have substantial economic influence. Therefore, there is a great deal of potential for mutual gain from their cooperation. The potential for collaboration goes beyond business partnerships, as demonstrated by their cooperative efforts in nuclear power projects. Both parties are aggressively promoting this cooperation with direct activities and focused training programs. The minister went on to say that in order to speed up these efforts, the Russian Nuclear Energy Corporation, Rosatom, and the Nigerian Atomic Energy Commission are cooperating. Nigeria also aims to expand its partnership with Russia outside of the energy sector by looking at potential cooperation in the fields of industrial technology for nuclear power, the agricultural sector, and medicine. Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, collectively known as the BRICS Alliance, are bravely upending the established global economic order. Their shared goal is to change the economic environment while establishing authority in the international marketplace. Since its founding by like-minded countries, the group of nations has accepted new members and broadened its scope, stepping up its efforts to challenge the status system. Basically, the goal of BRICS is to challenge the West's centuries-old economic power, causing a shift that will likely reshape the world's financial dynamics going forward. Nigeria's leading council, the Falana, an advocate with Falana and Falana's chambers, says that Nigeria must immediately join BRICS. Before the minister's feedback, Falana highlighted yet another important justification for Nigeria's immediate integration into the BRICS partnership in an interview with Sputnik Africa. In order to promote international trade by using national currencies rather than the US dollar. For sure, every decision taken by a country should be able to bring positive outcomes to the particular country. What effect would the African country's entry into BRICS have on the continent as a whole? One of the most important reasons for African countries to join BRICS is the chance to break out of Western influence. Colonialism's historical legacy has left the continent severely damaged, wiping out indigenous civilizations and enforcing alien political beliefs. Joining BRICS denotes more than simply economic cooperation. By accepting BRICS, African countries may be able to overcome this traditional dependency and create an environment for the development of their own social, economic, and cultural conceptions. It is a step in the direction of a stable and autonomous Africa. Because of their frequent marginalization within the existing global economic order, African countries are more at risk from outside pressure. By offering a collaboration, BRICS, African nations may be able to negotiate more fairly and become less economically dependent on their long-standing Western allies. There are more reasons to join BRICS than just the short-term financial gains. It's a crucial step toward establishing a future in which African countries assume the initiative in deciding their own fate. Through this partnership, African nations will have a platform to demonstrate their independence from historical legacies on the international scene. Historical colonialism has had an impact on African culture's fundamental fabric, in addition to its economic effects. Next up, Nigeria, which is ranked third in Africa after South Africa and Egypt, is regarded as a major economic force. Nigeria argues that it can only decide whether to join BRICS, an association of rising economies that aims to foster economic collaboration and growth among its members during the next 2 years, despite expert opinions suggesting. In the century's evolving multifaceted processes, BRICS shows its power. In addition, the association benefits from the many capabilities and viewpoints that each member brings to bear, which further enhances the group's capacity to impact commerce worldwide, economics, and politics. Russia's goal of growing its membership is one of its top priorities as it gains the BRICS chair in 2024. This move is an important turning point in the ongoing evolution and stabilization of the BRICS reputation in the international arena. Moreover, Africa's progress may be accelerated by Russia's leadership in the BRICS. Opportunities in the areas of cooperation, education, policy, and investment could alter Africa's course for growth. At the moment, BRICS is being considered in relation to its likelihood of collaboration with global South nations. Nigeria moved away from Occidental influence as it drew closer to Russia. Nigeria became more and more associated with China and the BRICS due to its growing commitment to Russia. What benefits, though, would Nigeria receive from joining the BRICS? By promoting the adoption of national currencies in cross-border transactions, Nigeria might influence the financial landscape both inside and outside of the African continent. However, how should Nigeria respond to and fend off Western pressure from the outside? Nigeria uses a deliberate method of decision-making, a strategic multiplicity of alliances, and an ongoing commitment to independence to address and fend off outside pressure from the West. In order to support the African economy, specifically within the continental free trade area, he suggested applying his influence to push through trade obstacles, and encourage countries to participate in trade using their individual currencies with numerous African countries. Nigeria has a deliberate and thoughtful approach to foreign partnerships, as seen by the length of time it spends engaging with internal bodies as well as state groups during the decision-making process. Nigeria has taken steps to carry on strategic plans to control the economy. Nigeria strives to give priority to its strategic goals by evaluating potential collaborations thoroughly and considering multiple views to make well-informed decisions. Nigeria's dedication to economic sovereignty is further demonstrated by its pursuit of alternative economic opportunities, such as looking into payment methods other than the speedy system and forming alliances with other countries. What function does Nigeria perform in the BRICS growth tactics, and how likely is it that Nigeria will join the consortium for the 2024 annual summit? Nigeria is a key component of the BRICS growth strategy, supporting the organization's goals of increasing the size of its participation. Nigeria's declared desire to join BRICS places it in an ideal position to play a significant role in the alliance's future growth ambitions as the group gets ready for its yearly gathering in 2024. Nigeria's participation could add to the BRICS alliance's developing global prominence, which is indicated by the growing interest from over 25 countries to join. African countries' aim for more welcoming and mutually beneficial relationships is reflected in their choice to investigate new relationships, particularly with BRICS. Due to the West's historically self-serving strategy, many African nations are looking for alternatives that place a higher priority on shared wealth. The possibility of economic gains that escaped previous Western alliances is one of the main reasons for looking to BRICS. The possibility of Nigeria joining has been the subject of serious discussions over the past few months. It is anticipated that in an effort to increase its power, the economic group would want Nigeria to join. Nigeria's delay in subscription to the BRICS membership could have many reasons. Over the course of 63 years, Nigeria has developed strong relationships with the West, led by the United States. However, many analysts believe that this relationship has not yielded any significant advantages for the most populous nation in Africa. In light of this, numerous political scientists and economists have encouraged Nigeria's leaders to join the group in order to further their nation's economic objectives. In conclusion, the concept of a BRICS currency, the phrase de-dollarization, and the utilization of national banknotes are all beginning to gain popularity. Nigeria's ambition to become a member of BRICS illustrates Africa's growing disenchantment with the dominance of the West and its hunt for new ways to promote economic development. Nigeria might be able to access possibilities and productive connections that are currently out of reach if it managed to become a member of BRICS. The BRICS nations' varied economies offer chances for investment, commerce, and technology collaboration that could support Africa's economic expansion. African countries seek to escape the spirals of economic interdependence that defined their relationships with the West by broadening their international connections. Does Nigeria's choice to join BRICS mean that everything will change there, in your opinion? What advantages do you think Nigeria will experience? Comment your valuable thoughts in the comment section below. Now we have headed to the end of our discussion. Hang on with our channel to watch our next interesting video.